So it seems we have some trouble over at Social Security with Elon Musk and his Doge hacker team. I want to go over this, just breaking right now, and let's jump right in. So this was the headlines. Top Social Security official exits after clash with Musk Doge over data. Again, we're talking about Social Security here. Yet another top career staffer is leaving the administration amid a disagreement over a request by Elon Musk's team for sensitive government information. And this is similar on this holiday weekend. They're going after the IRS and now Social Security. And it looks like people are fighting back. So I want to go to the details. The acting commissioner of Social Security administration left her job this weekend after a clash with billionaire Elon Musk's U.S. Doge service over its attempt to access sensitive government records. And then 3 people are saying this, right? And again, this is on a holiday. Michelle King, who spent several decades at the agency before being named its acting commissioner last month, left her position Sunday after the disagreement. And I want to mention this. I've said this so many times. For someone like, say, Michelle King here at this position, or many positions in the government, these are nonpartisan issues. These are civil servants that are there to serve the people and just make sure things are running smoothly, especially with something like Social Security. You just want it to run smoothly. It shouldn't be, political actors like Elon Musk doing whatever he's trying to do. It says here, President Donald Trump appointed Leland Dudek, a manager in charge of Social Security's anti-fraud office, as acting commissioner, while Frank Bizignano, the president's nominee for permanent commissioner, is vetted by Senate. I see. So they're still trying to get their person through to manage Social Security. And so now we have a temporary person at the moment. According to 3 individuals who spoke condition and anonymity, a public announcement is expected this week. So again, this is all breaking. Dudek had posted positive remarks on social media about Doge's efforts. Okay, so this is a Trump loyal list, as you can see. Efforts to cut costs and search for fraud in federal agencies, according to 2 individuals. And selecting Dudek, Trump bypassed dozens of other senior executives who sat higher on the agency's leadership hierarchy. So this shows you, again, Trump is interested in getting loyal people, not necessarily the most experienced or qualified. As you can see, they're bypassing over, several, it says dozens of senior execs, touching off alarm in and around agency, which has already faced years of budget and staffing difficulties. Yeah, and that's another issue. It's not Social Security. It's many agencies, like, for example, the VA. Trump, the people there were putting a hiring freeze over there. We're like, you need more people at the VA. And then Musk is coming in. It's like, I'm just going to cut everyone and we're going to go all to AI kind of stuff. It is, I'll just say this, they could really do some serious harm. And this is a quote here. It says, at this rate, they will break it, and they will break it fast. And there will be an interruption of benefits. And that's coming from Martin O'Malley, who is the Social Security Commissioner under Biden administration, right? So the person who did it before, and the former Maryland governor. So, I mean, this is like actually a pretty serious voice in that. Also says here, it's a shame the chilling effect. It has to disregard 120 senior executive service people. Oh, wow. Yeah. To pick an acting commissioner that is not in the senior executive services sends a message that professional people should not leave the beleaguered public agency. Yeah. So the Trump people, that they passed over a lot of people is what it sounds like here. And then it says the White House declined to comment on the developments. However, White House officials have said that Musk's associates are being properly vetted for they appointed to official roles in agencies they are helping scrutinize. Yes, of course they're going to say that. I don't trust these Trump or Musk people. And this is just, reporting what's happening. So basically, as you can see, there was a clash, right, with the acting commissioner. Musk is probably like, hey, we want to see some data, et cetera. And they're probably like, no, what right do you have to do that? And I'm sure from Musk's point of view, he'll say, well, I'm working with Trump, or I control Trump, and I control the government, or I bought the government. He'll say this kind of stuff. And then the problem is too, this is on a holiday, which is kind of nuts. And they're doing it when, not that many people are around. The other thing is right now, I think we're waiting on, there's supposed to be a judgment. I think that there's various judges that are weighing on the whole Doge situation. I think they have 24 hours, so we're going to find out soon. And the article I saw recently was if the judge rules against Doge, it would severely limit their power, and that'll be within 24 hours. And I'll do a video when we get the ruling on that. This is the whole contentious thing is like, one with the Doge people. Is this even a legitimate agency at all? There's been a lot of questions on that. Two is like, how is Musk vetting whatever people, doing these people have security clearances in a proper way? Because yes, it is true. You could just, hey, I just give you a clearance because I'm the king, right? I mean, it doesn't mean it's the right way, but I'm saying theoretically that's the arguments that they'll make. Because many people have said this stuff about the whole Doge thing is where, if we're just you or I trying to get clearance, it might take like a year to do this stuff. Or even you're just trying to get your job with the government, right? It takes a while to pass through all the background checks where, Musk is just adding people to his team really quickly, all those, young hacker types. Some of these people have conflicts of interest. I think some people are still in their, their professional jobs. Musk would be a perfect example of that conflict of interest where you're, cutting, say, something like the FDA or, whatever agencies that are investigating or evaluating your products, like say the Neuralink stuff. Other people have mentioned before, because we had this, and this is what honest conversations are, is like, okay, let's say we want to update our systems because a lot of this is based like an old programming language called COBOL. And many people in our community are older. You guys know this, your age. But you're saying, hey, I used to work with this stuff. I know how it is. And people are saying this is like a language that not that many people, if any, teach it anymore. So, to find people who are able to do COBOL, it's definitely not going to be the young, Musk hacker types. And those guys are like, 19 to 24. Like if you were serious about, say, upgrading our system, you would do a couple things, right? You would bring in programmer people who understand the language of the system, right? COBOL, which again would they by definition you'd most likely be older. The other thing you would do as well is like if you're serious about fixing it, you could bring an independent agency. Would be another example, not like a political appointee like a Musk who's like, and it's obvious because he's like campaigning with Trump. Another thing you could do as well is you could bring in a bunch of like accounting type of people, right? Not like hacker type people. There's a lot of problems with the way that all this is done, and they're trying to do it as quickly as they can. And then on top of that, Musk tweets out nonstop, misleading claims and stuff like that about various government agencies. Like all these things have multiple red flags. And then you have, someone who's clashing with them. And we don't know the details of the argument, but we do know that the person did step down. And then when they pick someone to replace, over at Social Security, they're passing over lots of other more experienced people and executive team, right? It's obvious that this is not a good thing. And, I just want to keep you guys abreast of this stuff because you do want to pay attention to these things. These things affect people's lives. And you have to understand from the Musk point of view, he's bringing in like this Silicon Valley type of culture, which is move fast, break things, and from Musk's point of view, it's like, oh, well, let's just turn everything off and we'll turn it back on and reset, like a reboot. That's kind of how he does stuff over at Twitter, et cetera. It's a different mentality than government where, if something goes down for like a week, you're risking people's lives and livelihoods, right? So that's why, if you were to transform this system, it would take time. It would take qualified people. And Musk is like opposite, right? The people he's bringing in are not qualified, nor are they giving enough time to do these things properly. Because I remember when we first started talking about the stuff with the Doge things, it would be like, hey, maybe they're just going to be some sort of advisory council, no power, that kind of thing, and give recommendations, but not necessarily just start cutting payments immediately, cutting people's benefits or whatever, and just doing it the way that they're doing it, threatening to call, marshals on you, that kind of stuff. I've been following this for quite a while ever since it broke. It's just a couple weeks now, but they're really digging into our most sensitive data and systems. So I want to give you an update on this and I want to hear your thoughts. So thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next video.